In this edition of the Parliament Report, government revamps tax policy to boost economy. Students' Loan Bureau cuts interest rates. Jamaica wants extended relationship with IMF. And no rollback in GCT on electricity. The government has introduced a raft of revenue measures aimed at stimulating growth in the economy while lending support to certain key sectors. But while the administration has put in place plans to revive the sputtering motor vehicle industry, motorists will have to dig deeper into their pockets to license their vehicles. The government has increased motor vehicle licensing fees by $1,000. Motor vehicle owners will now be required to pay general consumption tax GCT on second sale of motor vehicles. Delivering his opening presentation to the budget debate in Parliament on April 28, Finance and the Public Service Minister Audley Shaw said the administration would be cutting the Common External Tariff, the CET, on motor cars, including SUVs, from 40% to 20%. But persons seeking to acquire pickups will have to pay more on CET as the amount will jump by 100%. It will move from 10% to 20%. Transfer tax and the stamp duty on securities will be removed effective May 16. This move is being made by the government in an attempt to facilitate the issuance and trading of registered corporate bonds or securities. And taxpayers have been spared the imposition of new taxes to finance the government's $544.7 billion budget. No new taxes have been imposed despite a $140.8 billion gap in the budget. Finance and the Public Service Minister Audley Shaw said the administration would be plugging the hole in the budget by raising $97 billion on the domestic market. In opening the budget debate on April 28, Shaw told his parliamentary colleagues that the balance of $43.8 billion would be raised from external sources. Projected revenue and grants for the current fiscal year is $350.8 billion, representing an 11.5% increase over the previous financial year. Of this amount, the government plans to pull in $308.3 billion in tax revenues. Students at the tertiary level are to benefit from a sharp reduction in interest rates at the Students' Loan Bureau, the SLB. Finance Minister Audley Shaw announced that interest rates on loans from the SLB would be reduced by 3% from 12 to 9%. The loan repayment period for students who access SLB loans will extend from 10 to 15 years. The measure took effect on April 1. Mr. Shaw says the government will be reviewing the interest rate again later this year. The government could be subject to the strictures of the International Monetary Fund IMF conditionalities for an additional 2 years. Finance Minister Audley Shaw said the administration is seeking to secure a 24-month extension to its current standby arrangement with the IMF. Jamaica's current arrangement with the multilateral institution expires in May 2012. Shaw told his parliamentary colleagues on April 28 that Cabinet had given authorization for him to seek an extension with the multilateral body. He declared, "This is a commitment by this government to staying the course of fiscal discipline. We are fully aware that next year an election is due. But election or no election, the people of Jamaica can be assured we are not going to run with it into another election." He told the House that an extension of the standby agreement was a preferred alternative to an extended fund facility. In February 2010, the Executive Board of the IMF approved a 27-month standby arrangement with Jamaica in the sum of US $1.27 billion. The Jamaican government had entered into the agreement with the IMF to support the country's economic reforms and help it cushion the effects of the global economic meltdown. Finally, in the Parliament report, the government has dismissed calls for the removal of general consumption tax GCT on electricity. A number of sectors and the opposition People's National Party have urged the government to withdraw the tax on power. In his April 28 budget presentation, Finance Minister Audley Shaw disclosed that 375,823 customers of the Jamaica Public Service do not pay GCT on electricity. This represents 74% of JPS customers. GCT is applicable to accounts where 200 or more kilowatt-hour per month is consumed. And that's it for another edition of the Parliament Report. Until the next bulletin, I'm Edmond Campbell saying, walk good.